You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Bringing the heat, bringing the energy today. We were joined by super awesome special guest, returning guest here 3, 4, 5 times a week. Does he ever leave? Hanging out with Adam Fullerton with Branded Bull Inc. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
You're actually literally my brother.
That's true.
It's just
allegedly. We never actually have proven this, but yeah, that's what mom tells us.
Well, I think did you say that you were adopted?
No, I believe you're the adopted. You're the adopted.
You don't want to be related to me? Come on,
no.
It's getting good. It's getting better, right? Keep the nepotism going, you know what I mean?
Just as long as you keep growing, I'm sure there'll be some benefits for me down the road.
Hang in there, buddy. It'll work for you too, right? So we're actually, it's funny. Anytime we get together, you got to do the family obligatory. Hey, let's go sneak away and podcast for 20 minutes. I do like to get Adam on. He's a plethora of knowledge. He's excited. Life is good. Business is booming. So anytime you get around somebody who's growing, they always have like positive energy. And they usually say good stuff. No promises here with Adam. He is still the younger brother, so you never know what you're going to get. But that being said, before we jump into a little bit of an introduction, then we'll talk a little bit of some business. Right now, real time, Adam's over here helping me move, so thank you for that. We are moving one of our personal lockers out from our move from our condo. We got a storage locker. It was I think a 10 by 15 unit. Dude, paying like $245 a month for that thing. I have a storage pod, one of those storage pods that's on site at our new house here, paying $259 a month for that. And so the barn is like kind of just ready to start having some crap put into it. And I'm like, dude, for $500 a month, we're moving this junk out. So Rob's been here, Ryan's been here. Mark totally skated this one because he's on a cruise on vacation. Shout out to Mark.
Convenient timing, right?
Yeah, I'm like, that worked out great. So I'm like, hey, Adam, I need your help. And like the faithful young brother that he is, he's helping me move, which I can't thank you enough. So it's real life. We're doing the best we can. The barn, we literally cleaned it top to bottom on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you're here right now. The contractor's in there. I got 4 or 5 guys in there. And it looks like a bomb went off again.
Yeah, I don't even know if you actually cleaned it. I mean, it's what you say, but it doesn't look like it.
It was literally spotless. I can show you a photo, and that's like the irony.
Yeah,
and and all for a good reason. But the utility guys are here. They're doing the water, dude, I don't even know, the gas. They're hooking up the 2 blower fan furnaces, whatever you call them, up top, the blowers. So the barn should be. And the electric guys were here all week, so it's been like, it's really cool. I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars. Go figure.
It's cool to see though, just how much activity. Like, we talked about this and joked about this earlier, but like, everybody wants these beautiful roads, these beautiful buildings, these beautiful houses. Sure. But like the nitty, the gritty, the back end labor that's put into this stuff to make it what it is.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you go in there and like, I don't know anything about plumbing. I don't know anything about electric. I couldn't tell you anything about that stuff. So you see these guys doing their thing and their craft, and you're just like, yeah, this is how it all comes together. It's nuts.
Yeah, because it's all like exposed. Like the concrete, they're chiseling through this, or cutting through that, or they already pre-laid some pipes, so now they're tapping into some of that stuff. But they're crawling through the attic. I got insulation all over the place, venting fans. Yeah, I mean it is really, really cool. I mean, it's the amount of labor that goes into a project like this that I don't think I underestimated. I just don't think I overestimated. It's just like you see it in person, you're like, dang, like, dude, I've had dozens of people here for weeks to get this thing done. And we're on the home stretch, but we still got a lot of work to do. And the reason I'm trying to get it all done now is because we leave 2 days for Destin, Florida for 2 weeks. And then when I get back, I get all this pallet racking coming in, and then I'm emptying out my 4 storage lockers for the lawn care company, which is a whole nother round of this.
Sure.
And so it's like, dude, here we go. And then not only that, we're switching our CRMs to LMN, more to come on that. If you guys are interested in signing up on LMN, give me like 2 more days. I have an affiliate code for you. Whole nother story coming down the pike on that. Really pumped for that. But then, pretty much shortly thereafter, it's go mode. I mean, it's staying in the 30s and 40s in February here, which is a little unusual.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for an early spring. That little rodent, what's his name? Pox with Termy Phil or whatever.
He's not a beaver. He's a groundhog. What is he?
What the hell is he?
He's a groundhog.
The trash panda.
The fact that this is still a thing is.
It's like I saw somebody say, like, why don't we pull more rodents out of the ground to get their opinion on politics next? Like what rat would be like Democrat or Republican? It's
this tradition's been going on for 200 years, and like it makes no sense. But you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just keep doing it, guys.
It's such a Gen X boomer thing. It's just like we just accept it for what it is. But when you're like at face value, why is a rodent getting plucked out of hibernation?
He doesn't even know what a shadow is, but okay.
But all of a sudden now he's a weather expert?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, maybe we got this whole thing wrong. We need to go to the ants and to the raccoons of the world, and maybe humans are not as advanced as we think we are, right?
Well, apparently not.
We got to go back to the rodents in the ground, finding their shadow. I'm like, wouldn't there be a shadow no matter what time you pull him out?
It just depends on if he looks. Can he look behind him?
Well, I'm saying like if it's a noon, kind of presentation.
So do they do that at the same time every single time?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you did 4:00 in the afternoon, of course he's gonna have a darker shadow. Like that's why a sundial works.
Yeah.
But if you do a noon top down, no shadow.
Yeah.
So who's rigging this thing is what I want to know.
I guess maybe if it's an election year, they
every 4 years they change the position. No, what they do is they wait till it goes down at night, change the votes, and the next morning you wake up.
Oh, that's right.
And it's the opposite.
Stop. You're a conspiracy theorist.
On my tinfoil hat.
Yeah, right.
They're turning the frogs gay. Okay. Hashtag all value on our podcast. This is what happens. This is the unfiltered Fullerton. This is when I'm just laying it on you. I'm like, how to figure out your life.
This is like an average family dinner, realistically.
Usually gets 3 or 4 more layers deep, but we're trying to keep it Disney here. But yeah, this is my life. People always say.
Speaking of, how was that?
Disney?
Yeah.
It was really cool. I hate giving my money again to an evil, horrible, greedy organization, Disney. But when you have a 2-3-year-old and they're like Mickey Mouse, and I got reaction on camera, from Emmy.
Yeah, it's
because we did a little 3 p.m. parade that goes downtown Main Street or whatever they call that thing. And the kids don't know any better, so you're not gonna ruin it for them. It's like saying there's no Santa Claus, By the way, there is a Santa Claus.
Wait a minute.
Another
spoiler alert. You should probably have said spoiler alert. If you have kids in a room, hold on.
If you pull an elf out of a hole, it'll let you know if there's Santa, depending on the time of the day, if he sees a shadow. But it was really good. It was good. It was fun. I got to catch up with Blake. Blake Albert's MB&B.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It was cool. Much needed. Liz and I said that was 100% the most fun family vacation we've had as a couple, like legit, because it was for some reason we were just less stressed. We're tapering on decisions for the home. We're like kind of coming out of the thick of it.
Did you stay in the park or whatever they would call it?
No, you have to go home every day.
No,
so,
but like, don't they have hotels like on?
Oh, the on-site ones.
Yeah,
we did. We stayed at I don't even know, dude. There's like 10 hotels or something on campus, whatever they call that. So we did stay for a couple days at one, and then but it's like the 20, 30-year-old hotels, dude. None of the hotels are new or modern. I mean, they're all 20, 30-year-old rooms. But if you go across the street, there's like the Swan and Dolphin, then there's the Swan Reserve.
Yeah. And
that's new. Remember the JW Marriott we stayed at 3 years ago?
Yeah.
With the family?
Yeah.
That's more my style. These other rooms are like your 1990s, 1980 rooms that they've kind of like spruced up the bedding. But
it looks like on a pig.
It looks like, it's like a motel.
Right.
The doors are on the outside. If you're staying at a hotel, I told Liz this. I said, if you're staying at a hotel and you can access the door from the walkway, the hallway, probably not the kind of hotel you want to be staying in. You know what I mean? And dude, this stuff is like still $400 or $500 a night.
Sure.
And it's like a very small day.
It's not like they need to update it. I mean, the demand is there.
No, it's got the boob light, from 1980, on the ceiling. Anyway, so we went over to the Swan Reserve, I think, for 2 days, and that was like stellar. That was first class, brand new, awesome. That's way more my style. It's like when you turn the lights off at night and you see like the wall moving kind of places. It doesn't really work for me,
The portraits on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, are those eyes real? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Like, how many cameras have been installed in this room? Who knows? So anyway, it was a fun time. It was cool, but it's good to be back. We're excited about growing. The company's growing. Like I said, we're switching softwares. We're getting ready with Postcard Mania for our mailers. We're getting 4 or 5 submission forms already from the website. Actually, go figure.
Good.
So big sites, actually, like the largest apartment complex in Wixom. If I said the name, you know it. It's I'm not going to say it because
they go on the side of a hill.
It's across from the gas station on the corner of where you live.
Yeah.
Northwest corner.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that'd be southeast corner.
Sure. I don't know my cardinal directions anyway, but
yeah. But you know which one it is. It's huge, and I'm like, That's probably like $100,000 account. I
Yeah.
don't know if we're there yet. I would love to bid it. I might bid it just to throw some like Hail Mary numbers at it. But if we get it, I'd be like, oh shit. I'd be like, dude, it's hire 2 new guys. Dude, you're gone.
Yeah,
Like, that's,
you sound like me when I'm talking to my wife Sarah, and we're ideally would love to buy a house, and the rates are ridiculous and all that. But every single time we see a house, I'm like, just lowball them, just go 200 grand under, and just be like, what's the worst that happens?
maybe they feel pity for us.
Just please. The worst that happens is they say no.
Yeah.
So just try.
I always say, like, maybe there's a listener out there that's got $100 million in the bank and they want to pay off our mortgage. Fullerton, I love you. I love what you're doing, but here's $1 million. Pay off your house. Don't even worry about it. You're such a great guy. So if you guys know anybody that's got a rich uncle, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We'll take that all day. But no, things are ready to rock and roll. So one thing that we're going to talk about, now that we got 9 minutes of my background on this dang thing, let's talk about you, because you're the damn guest of the show. And I wanted you to have your background, what you guys are doing, who you are, and all that mess. A lot of guys already know you. We've had some really good shows about marketing, branding, customer service, and so much more from you and your perspective and Branded Bull and everything you guys are doing. So go over that just for, again, high level for these guys. But then number 2, I want to talk about people making decisions to invest with you guys and what is working out there right now, because we have our new private Facebook group link. You guys have heard me talk about it. You're going to hear me talk about it all year. It's growing every day. I think we have 165 members, new 5-10 people every week. Like, welcome to the jungle. It's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
We invited you in there, and a couple of our key vendors. It's not a pitch fest. It's just a resource kind of a deal for some of the contractors that we're partners with. And you're answering in there all the time. You're on the live streams. You're answering questions. And people are going with you guys hand over fist to logos, vehicle wraps, designing, new websites, of course. So what's your thoughts on all the above? I saw you were actually on the live stream last night, which was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, first of all, congratulations on the success of that group. You can tell the excitement is obviously, what's the right word? Everybody's getting excited for the upcoming season.
It's like a fervor.
Yeah, they're asking questions, and people are, in there asking,
Engaged.
hey, yeah, exactly. Hey, should I do this for postcards, or should I do this for a website? Should I do this for a vehicle wrap, or how do I do this? What does this term mean? What does other marketing companies using this? And I love seeing it because this is our wheelhouse.
Right.
And this is what, between Lauren and myself, we've been doing for decades, right? Decades and decades for much bigger businesses. So being able to just see the excitement and the questions that people are asking, it's awesome. So really quick, one of your questions was, who are we? What do we do? We are Branded Bull, and we are a professional branding, website, and graphic design agency. And so we stick to what we're really good at. We don't offer 25 different services and be mediocre at them. Those are the 3 pillars of our business and where we thrive. And so people are reaching out left and right. Hey, I want a website because I'm going to grow my business. Hey, I want to do a new postcard. I want a super cool design. Can you guys help me with that? Hey, I want a new logo. Hey, I want a new brand package. What does that mean? And it's so many fun conversations, because these are people, just like we are, a small business, that are investing into their future, into their business. They're taking the time, the money, the investment to grow their, the thing that they're pouring their lives into. And I think that's the coolest thing in the world, because that's what we're doing. That's exactly the life we're living. And so just to see the activity, see the excitement, people asking amazing questions and taking these things seriously, it's fun to be part of.
Did you notice that there was, this sounds weird, but like this, you guys know we're super humble, whatever. But did you know, like, there was this much need for folks to have that much conversation? Like, did you assume people knew this stuff? Because you think, like, today you got every guru out there, from social media to podcasting to books. You got Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, everybody.
You wrote a book.
I wrote a book.
I know, you're on there.
Everybody's doing it, right? I love our book. 0 to 100K. It's a solid. It's actually a really good book. It's a really good read. I get tons of great feedback on it.
I know, I bet.
But did you assume that people knew colors, logos, clear landing pages, call to actions, updated websites? Like, every time I get you on the show, I'm like, how many people are you guys working with? And you're launching 5 to 10 new websites a month?
We've done, at this point in the last year, we've worked with over 100 lawn care and landscaping businesses.
Wow.
So over 100. And here's the thing. I think people use websites. They look at mailers. They go on, they go on social media accounts, and they interact with much bigger businesses in all the same ways that they want their customers to interact with their business. So it's one of those things where it's like, when we have conversations about a website, we always ask the most obvious question. Hey, if you're looking for a company to do what you want, what do you do? Well, I go to Google. Well, what do you think your customers are doing for your business?
Right.
Oh, shoot. You're right. So I think what I've learned is that people know these things, but they just never connected the dots and how it impacts their own business.
Sure.
And how they can grow their business. Because the only difference between, honestly, them and the big business, well, there's many, but the biggest thing is they're just not doing the same things that a big business does. But you know the same stuff. You know the importance of a color scheme. You know the importance of looking professional. But you just don't connect the dots until someone says, hey, have you ever thought about this, this, and this? You're like, well, crap, that's what I've been doing.
And,
no duh.
And sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
Sure, 100%.
I mean, or like sometimes it's like, here's really what it is. It's the accountability, right? It's the actually sitting down and doing it. You know, like this yellow piece of paper right here, I showed this on the live stream. This is our org chart. Mark Bradley, we got to invite.
Empty.
Shut up, dude. I was like, no, I'm like, what? You're looking at the backside. Pay attention, all right? But we went over to Mark Bradley, Elements, HQ, got an invite, us and the Almonds, whole nother story for a whole nother time. Freaking amazing time. You guys heard us do a quick debrief with the Almonds on that. But we wrote all this out. And this was a 4-hour, dude, you can check this out. This is a 4-hour, literally exercise where Mark was like, what do we have? What do we got and where we're going? And every single task and job that we have for the current companies, every need from accounts payable, accounts receivable, marketing, Instagram posts, invoicing customers, for the lawn care company. Like that's all there. We need to hire an admin. That's our next hire. To the social media company, right? Like sales, marketing, who's making posts, Instagram, podcasts, all this crap. Like, and what you really do is you take that and then you realize the gaps. And then you backfill the gap. So we need to hire an admin for the lawn care company. We need to hire landscape design guys, for the landscape side of the company. And there's a lot of things that we want to do is we want to grow to a $500,000, $750,000, $1 million plus company. So this is all stuff that Liz and I talk about every freaking day.
Yeah.
With you guys, with the podcast, everywhere we go, we say the same stuff you guys. But to have Mark like literally sit down, grab 12 by 24 inch crafting paper and say, here's some pens. We're actually pencils because this is going to be, draw, write, and erase kind of deal.
Exercise.
Yeah. He's like, we're going to sit down for the next 4 hours. I'm like, dude, tell me about software. Tell me how you bid. Tell me how you grew at 50. And he's like, no, this is what we're doing. This right here is going to help you build your budget.
And that's the thing is, these ideas, right? You look at big businesses, you know that they have a sales team, they have a marketing team, they have XYZ team and people in places. And you're like, yeah, and that's what I mean by connecting the dots. That's when you sit down and start doing it for yourself. And you're like, holy crap. Like this is how it all comes together and starts working in real life, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing that I think I'm getting out of seeing all the engagement that you're receiving from Link. And of course, you shoot me text messages in our family group chat. Hey, another lead came in, J&B Lawn Care. I'm like, no, but, there's a million guys out there. And then you're like, hey, do you know Mike's Landscaping? I'm like, actually, yeah, dude, I know Mike. He's came to LEL for 3 years, came to Together in Trades 2 years ago. Awesome, dude. So it's fun seeing the engagement. But I didn't know that it would be such a groundswell of people that have been reaching out to really update. Like I didn't know there would be that much of a need. But then you start looking around and you're like, well, I mean, nobody's really doing as good quality of work. And most of us were landscapers. We're not social media website guys. Maybe we can post on Instagram, but to build a website, I don't care if you want to cop out and say Squarespace or Wix can do it for you. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you're going to churn and burn on that. You can get something up there in 10 hours.
Why aren't you doing your own plumbing? Let me ask you this question. I'll draw an analogy here. Why aren't you doing your own plumbing?
Dude, I can barely do my own storage lockers.
All right. Well, there you go.
Come on. You think I can move stuff? You think we're going to go plumb? I don't even know what plumbing is.
But here's the thing. When you're trying, I think if you're trying to build a successful business, at some point you can do things yourself, which is good in the beginning. And I think we all start there.
Sure.
Do what you can with what you have. And eventually you have
Sweat
this.
equity.
Exactly. You have this thing that comes over you and you think to yourself, how do I get to the next level? Because what got you here won't get you there. And so you need to then start saying, you know what? I can learn X, Y, and Z skill and pull my hair out, or I can hire a professional.
Right.
And everything in life, in terms of business, is all about specialization. And as people get further down a rabbit hole with a website or whatever else, or plumbing or electricity, you need someone who understands it 10 times better than you, and you can focus on growing your business, not focusing on how do I build a website? How do I make this? How do I do that? Yes, you can, but someone's going to be out there that's better than you at it and going to make your life a lot easier so you can do what you're supposed to do as a business owner. Business. Own the business. Grow the business. Don't try to be a jack of all trades and do everything yourself.
Right.
You're just going to run into a wall eventually.
Yeah, no, and that's probably where I'll leave the show. We're just going to do a short and sweet one because we actually got a bunch of stuff that we're going to get back to. We're just taking a little soiree here to make sure we got a show for you guys on Friday. But Tom Wheelwright was on our podcast. And he said the 3 most expensive words in the English language are do it yourself. You know, he said do it yourself. Yeah, that's 3, right?
That's only 2 words.
Do it yourself. Do it.
Never mind.
Are you for real?
I was thinking yourself.
My God.
I was like, yourself is only 1 word, bro.
It is. Do it.
I understand now.
Oh my God. Go to BrandonBowl.com.
Hey, here's what I'll say is we build websites for a living. No, we do graphic
AI
design
builds
work.
website.
I can tell you what looks good and what looks bad, but I'm not here to, I didn't write a book, so.
I am a published author.
My grammar, I know. I understand. I never once said I knew how the alphabet works.
The off-season is not a time for hibernation, but an opportunity for strategic planning and productivity. By setting clear goals, optimizing operations, investing in your team, enhancing back-end processes, and joining a supportive community, you can lay the groundwork for a successful and profitable 2024 season. With a Launchpreneur Academy Link membership, you can actually engage with other industry professionals, access valuable resources, and even find mentors who can provide fresh perspectives and ideas for your business. Learning from others' experiences is a powerful way to navigate challenges and foster growth. Get started today with your Link membership at launchpreneuracademy.com or use the link in the podcast description.
I got nothing on that. But it is funny because the more your team grows or the bigger your life grows, the more you realize the importance of a team. And really something that I'll just leave as a quick thought, a little humdinger, I call it, is it's the 4 windows, right? It's the you know what you know, you don't know what you don't know, other people know stuff about you, and then whatever the hell the 4th one is. Like you both don't know or something like that, but only you know. Whatever go look up, Google the 4 windows. And even if you think you got your lawn care business figured out, your budget figured out, your marketing figured out, your trailer wrap figured out, your vehicle wrap figured out, your website figured out, your postcard design is figured out, your route density figured out, like you don't know what you don't know. And it's really cool. I mean, this is like a pseudo plug even for Link. Like we have people in there that have great businesses. And like it's not just for like struggling startups. There's guys that have great businesses. They're doing 600, 700, 800 grand. And we get on these live streams every week on Wednesdays at 7. And we're sharing notes about what's working, what's not working. I mean, I lead a lot of the conversation, obviously, but I'm always like, what are you guys doing? It's a banter back and forth. And that's the really cool thing is we all know a bunch of stuff. We're all doing pretty good. We're all learning. We're all growing. But it's what you don't know. And when you get somebody else to give you an outside perspective, whether it's a website, whether it's a postcard, or what CRM you're using and how you're utilizing it, like it's that accountability that comes through that pulls out the best in you.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like frankly, that's the growth. That's where you really get the most growth. It's those peer groups, it's the coaching, it's the mentorship, or it's relying on an expert in another field.
Yeah, I think, you do what you can. You might have a website, for example, and you say, yeah, I built it myself. It looks really good until you see something else, right? It's like you think you have the nicest car until you see the nicest car pull up next to you and you go, oh, shoot, that's even better, right? It's just like you're familiar with what you have created or what you have seen. And there's just, especially in your industry, it's so competitive. So I think just the more people invest into learning about what they can do differently or do better, you're only going to stand out that much more and get more attention, more visibility, more trust, more leads, more customers, more revenue, more growth, because you're taking the time to find out what else you can do better, even if you already think you're doing it the right way.
I like it. Yeah.
And then you reach out to a professional or whatever, and they, we have these conversations all the time.
It's like
teach people stuff all the time.
While you're saying that, the sentence came to my brain, like, when's the last time you asked for help? When's the last time you just asked for help, humbled the ego, and said, hey, man, what do you think? And that can be a 15-minute consultation. That can be a something that turns into a more mature conversation with hiring a service or a company or whatever. But it's like, when's the last time you asked for help? Really quickly, I pulled this up because I was curious. It's been a minute since I actually pulled up the real thing about this. It's called the Johari window model, Johari. But I heard this a long time ago in many different books. But it's the top left square. It's known to others, known to self. Those are open area. The next one is not known to yourself, but known to others. That's a blind spot. So you're like, oh, dude, my website's looking great. But then you're an expert and you're like, dude, you can work on this, this, and this.
Sure.
So you know it, but I don't because it's a blind spot. Not known to others and known to self. That's a hidden area or a facade. So like your imposter syndrome, or I'm like, hey, man, we're super rich, but really you're broke.
Yeah.
You know, hey, man, I look at this brand new truck I bought, but you're paying $1,200 a month for it. And people are like, that guy's got it going on, but really it's a facade.
Yeah.
In no shade if you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like you're presenting or projecting something else.
Sure.
I call that the Instagram highlight reel, because nobody's going to show you the next post, which is like you and your wife bitching each other out at 10 o'clock at night because you're stressed out about finances. We've been there. We've been there, done that about everything. Liz and I have always tried to be, candid. And then the last one, what's not known to self or not known to others, that's the unknown. That's, hey, nobody saw COVID coming in 2020. And we all try, fail, adjusted, and adapted through that whole, situation. So, yeah, the 4 windows, like this is kind of stuff that like, this isn't like when you're on the lawnmower, you're like, yeah, dude, life is good. All right, cool. Next episode, next track, next guy. This is stuff you like listen and you go with a pen and paper at 10 p.m. at night and you go, man, like, where am I on this? Like, what do I need? What do I need help on? What do I need expert help on? So it is an interesting conversation. So anyway, no hard pitch here, I guess, really in any regard for Brandon Bull. I just love getting to catch up with you and, breaking off for a half hour we've had a pretty long afternoon, to be honest with you. So I'm like, hey, let's go podcast, hang out for a little bit. I love getting you on the show. Our other one's a little bit more X's and O's, I think. But if you want to button up, we're again, who are you? Where people can find you? That whole deal. It's always nice to point people in the right direction if they need help.
Of course, love being on anytime I can and giving advice and helping you guys grow your lawn care landscaping business. Or you have so many followers in other industries as well. Any industry, we'd love to help you guys. Websites, graphic design, professional branding. You can reach out, ask us any questions. Go through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, our website, brandonbullinc.com. Whatever we can do, guys. We know a lot of information and we're just giving away, trying to educate, trying to teach people how to fish so that you can make smarter, better decisions for you and your business and the growth you're looking for. So reach out with any questions related to marketing, advertising. And if we don't know the answer, we're going to point you in the right direction to get the right answer. So love to be a help.
Yeah, and one last thing I'll say, if you guys want to check out my website, brianslm.com, that's a good business card for Adam and what Adam and Lauren have put together for us. We're actually revamping some extra stuff as well behind the scenes to give it a little refresh and boost. It's already been, 12, 18 months with that thing. Last thing I'll say, if you guys are seriously looking for a website, please do your homework. A lot of people are offering a lot of different things out there. I'm not a put somebody down to put somebody else up kind of a guy, but I will just tell you, make sure that when you sign up with somebody, if you don't go with Adam and Lauren, that you own your website, you own your content. Somebody's not flat rate monthly you, and then they own you. I'm not saying anybody's doing that or anybody's, it's nothing like that. I'm just saying when it comes to ad agencies, brand companies, people that are running your ad companies, you start signing stuff and you start going through these agreements and you start realizing, hey, I don't want to utilize your services anymore in 15 months. We hired a girl. She's going to take care of it in-house. And then you realize you're stuck on a 36-month contract. You don't own your domain. They own all your digital assets.
We hear these stories all the time.
They're horrible horror stories.
We always tell, I always tell people, Lauren and I, when we're on the calls, we always say, even if you don't work with us, for whatever reason, at least you walk out of the conversation with more information for the next conversation. So you don't end up in those scenarios, because we do hear those horror stories. And again, we're not the best fit for every single person on the planet or every business. But yeah, we've had people come to us and be like, I'm 5 years in, here's my domain. The other company won't give it to me.
I've heard, I get those all the time.
It's difficult.
People are like, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know. Do you get a lawyer? I don't know. I don't know anything about fighting for your website and your domain. I'm sorry, that sucks. Other than basically rebranding and restarting from scratch, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
And there's people that get locked into weird agreements. So I'm not saying there's any nefarious players necessarily out there. I do not know what other people are offering. Frankly, I do not care. I run with the best. I believe I'm a thoroughbred. I like to run with thoroughbreds. I have the blinders on. I don't care what anybody else is doing. For me personally, when it comes to marketing and branding and all of our digital assets in that regard, we go with Adam, we go with Brandon Bull. Just coincidence that he's my brother, coincidence that he made a right product, right time, and he's serving hundreds of people doing that. 100 active websites you've built, but probably 200-300 inquiries over the last
more than
15 months.
Easily.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
And
So
the conversations again through Link, through Facebook, through your followers are amazing. So
you guys were at Quip Expo?
People just asking us questions. It's so much fun. And this is the last thing I'll say. It's just amazing when people are like, "Hey, Adam, you guys know a thing or two. I'm doing this with another company. What are your thoughts?" Dude, I don't even care if you work with us.
Yeah.
I just want to give people information to make the right decision.
Yeah.
So you feel proud, happy, and you're not getting screwed over.
Yeah, we had a conversation this morning going down on the guy with the yard signs.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey, if I was you, I'd switch to this and this." Actually, his logo.
Hey, here's some considerations, because what people tell you might be the truth, but they might be omitting things purposefully or accidentally.
Yeah, it's a blind spot.
Exactly. So we come in and we say, and I said in that particular post, I said, here's 3 or whatever number of things to consider when you make a decision on what you're going to do with your logo. Oh, dude, so smart. I never even thought about that. That's why we're experts.
What?
We do this.
And you get that for for real. I hate to sound like a used car sales guy, but I'm like $29 a month to get access to Link. And I got people who are like, dude, this is worth $5,000. We had Mark Bradley on 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe now. And people are like, that was worth $5,000.
Well,
and I'm like, I know. Like,
and it's not necessarily what you make, but maybe what you save. Imagine if you go through with a logo or whatever it is, and then you're 5 years down the line, you're running into these problems. All it would have cost is $29, $30, whatever number of dollars to save you the headache, right?
That's awesome.
So it's maybe not what you make, but what you save at the same time.
You had a couple good lines here. This is like, again, I think it's iron to sharpen iron. I'm really excited for what you guys got going on. You're saying good stuff. There's a lot of nuggets here. Maybe listen to this one again, because, I listen to the podcast when it comes out, and I swear to God, it sounds like we're on double speed.
I actually do listen to all my podcasts on double speed.
Do you really?
Yeah, I can't. I have to.
I listen to our show just to proof it, see what we sound like, see if there's any gaps, any errors, or maybe Mr. Producer missed anything, which very rarely has he ever. He's a 10 out of 10. But I'm like, do we really talk that fast? Like the people down south, they probably put me on 0.5 speed. They're like, you guys just, you Northerners, man, you guys are just know-it-alls and just talk too fast. My Southern folks, I always hit up, to 1.5x speed. Sorry, man, it works both ways. That's the unfiltered part. That's good stuff. But it is what it is, man. So this is good stuff. But there's a lot of nuggets packed in this podcast that Adam was dropping for the last 20 minutes. So BrandonBullInc.com.
Yes, sir.
Brandon Bull Inc. I think as well on Instagram. Or
Brandon Bull will come up.
They'll come on up. So check them out if you guys need a website, logo, all that mess. And that's where we'll leave it. So I'm actually going to get back to cleaning out the lockers, the pods, the barn, and get all that going. Beautiful day here in Michigan, 55 degrees and sunny. You cannot beat that. I mean, again, dude, it's February 8th or 9th? Like, when's the last time you remember February 10th being 55 degrees in Michigan?
I don't know. I'm just saying if global warming is
a thing,
if this is a result,
could be
kind of.
Maybe.
Not a bad thing.
I don't know, man. Somebody slipped a 20 spot to that damn muskrat that was in the ground because somebody's tired of snow or something like that. And they wanted to get back to landscaping. And I'm all about that life. I love the money we make in snow. I'd much rather have the consistent money in lawn and land, landscaping and maintenance. So I'll take it either which way. But we have no problem getting back out there and starting mowing early this year. So, all right, guys. Well, over and out. This is our Friday show. We come at you guys Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to hit subscribe or follow or like or whatever you guys got to do in your podcast player. That way you guys get notified of every time we drop a new show. Scroll back if you guys want. It wasn't but maybe once every month or two, so maybe every 12 or 15 shows where Adam was on, giving more X's and O's. So if you want some other great episodes, I know Adam's been on a couple times. He'll be in the title and Brandon Bull as well. So check those out if you guys want to learn more about what they got going on. And that's where I'll leave you. So have a beautiful, safe weekend, guys, and we'll catch up with you here on the next one.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are 2 things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit launchpreneuracademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Launchpreneur Academy link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.